Is it possible to play the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies game mode as a solo player? Well, the answer to that question is yes. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly the best ways of doing this, along with how to start off from scratch, even if you don't have any weapons, any perks, or any upgrades to go along with that. There are in fact some specific ways you can get a leg up and can play this game mode as a solo player. I personally have been finding the most enjoyment myself from playing as a solo operative, as one, it allows you to get the most loot possible from each mission, along with being able to do whatever mission you want at any time. Now, most of the loot in this game mode is shared, with the exception of when you complete a mission, the rewards that it gives you, they are personal to you. All of the other loot, for example, the ammo drops, any weapon drops in the game, any other drops that can be picked up from the ground are not shared loot, along with any of their strongholds that you come across with are also not shared. So you have to make sure if you're in a team that you are the first person to that loot, otherwise you're going to miss out on everything. Obviously, with this being said, if you infill as a solo operative, you do not have that worry. You will be able to loot everything yourself and gain the most loot as possible. This is another reason why I've found a lot more enjoyment playing as a solo player compared to playing as a squad. I am going to infill without any weapons, however I'm still going to tell you the best way of how to get weapons, backpack, armor plate, gas mask, self-revive and perks and everything else that you will need. Now, I understand that most of you will probably have weapons because you'll either be able to get your own short slot weapon, or you'll probably have some sort of weapon in your stash to take in with you. However, I am going to infill without any weapons just so I can purely show you how this is done and how you can start off from scratch without absolutely anything. Okay, so you've just been dropped off into the Zombies game mode. What do we do now? Well, the first thing I'm going to say to you is you want to find a vehicle. This is going to be your base to get around the map, along with being able to get a good start off on the game and find your first weapon. So I've got a bit of a run to get to this vehicle. Obviously, whilst you're on the way there, I would recommend running through some buildings. Obviously, trying your best to stay away from the zombies as best as possible. But the main thing is you do want to look for a weapon. So when you're running through the buildings, what you want to be looking for are certain weapon stashes that will contain loot, so you can get your first weapon that way. Another thing to be looking for, along with some weapon stashes, are lockers. Now, like DMZ, lockers are very popular to be able to get some very important loot, such as your backpacks and armor vests. One thing I would recommend starting off with, if you have absolutely nothing when you first drop into zombies, is head for one of the ether nests. Now, these will actually contain some decent loot and they will definitely help to get you started on your first run through. Once you get to the ether nest, the main thing you want to do are look for the cysts, but do keep in mind that the zombies do spawning whilst you are in here, so keep a good eye out for zombies spawning, otherwise they can quickly overwhelm you and obviously take you down. One thing you definitely want to keep an eye out are self-revives. These are extremely important when you're playing through as a solo operator, because you obviously don't have any teammates to revive you if you go down. You do want to have one, if not at least two self-revives when you're playing as a solo operator, because you do have a good chance of going down and you won't have anyone else to come by and revive you as a team. So now we have a gun with some basic upgrades. The next thing you want to do is try to get a self-revive along with a medium backpack and a 2-plate vest so we can head into the next zone. Now, what's the best way of doing this? So we do actually have a few options. The first option would be to look on the map for a bounty contract. Now, by doing a bounty contract, it is going to give you some extra cash, so then you can head to a buy zone and physically go and buy the 2-plate vest and the medium backpack. I would, however, prioritize the 2-plate vest over the medium backpack, as this is definitely going to help you more when you head into the next zone. Once you guys have got this basic setup going, it is about time to head into the next zone. Just keep in mind, before you head into the next zone, you are going to want to have at least 3,000 essence, so we can head to the nearest mystery box location and get a much better gun. So that took me about 6 or 7 hits to actually get a gold weapon from the mystery box, but by doing this, it does actually save you from going into the red zone to go and buy a gold weapon from one of the wall buys. Now, yes, it might be a little bit more expensive, but the gold weapon will buy will be at least 5k anyway, so I think it's actually better just to hit the mystery box so you can get your hands on a gold weapon. Once you guys have got your gold weapon to tier 2 pack, you are now ready to essentially take on any of the missions by yourself in the game, no matter what zone you are in, because your weapon will also be powerful enough now to take on the zombies in the red zone. A little tip for you, although, if you are just looking to build up some money so you can go straight into the red zone and get a tier 3 pack-a-punch, one thing I would recommend doing is heading back out to the gray zone, because you get the same amount of money regardless of whether your bounty is in the orange zone or in the gray zone. Let me know down in the comment section if you'd do anything differently to get a better start on your zombies playthrough, and I hope you guys have found this content helpful. Feel free to hit that like and subscribe button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next video.